The Winter Soldier's entire thematic premise was built around Zola's words. And it resonated with the characters throughout the movie. It was the 9th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it was also one of the best. Owing to the focus and themes it attempted to explore, while presenting an action, conspiracy thriller, with a well-thought-out story. Something that many modern action films still don't have. The plot follows Steve Rogers and his struggles to understand the daring complexities of modern warfare in the 21st century. With Hydra at the helm, the concept of people willingly giving up their personal and collective liberties in order to assure safety was heavily explored, along with other complicated real-world issues. Hydra began as a splinter group from Nazi Germany, sometime during World War II. According to Dr. Arnim Zola, the organization was created with the notion that humanity could not be trusted with its own freedom. It became necessary to take it away from them. After the events of World War II, Hydra realized that people weren't going to simply allow their freedom to be taken away. And the group learned a valuable lesson. After Captain America foiled their plans, they realized that they had to adapt and think of new means to achieve their objectives. More than 70 years later, Hydra had completely infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. The group weren't fighting S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. They became S.H.I.E.L.D. They had steadily been influencing major global events, sparking wars and destabilizing economies. They did this in order to make the world even more chaotic than it already was. For people to gladly give up their freedom. They made the world so dangerous for over 70 years, that it required some measure of government control in both small and large scale, to maintain some semblance of order. The final phase of Hydra's plan, like that of any dictatorial or totalitarian state, was to silence critics. Anyone they thought posed a threat to them would be eliminated. This is where Zola's algorithm would come in. Many of the thematic devices, however, are more important in today's society. More so than when the film was first released in 2014. Not only did Anthony and Joe Russo create excellent action scenes inside a gripping plot, they also made the story incredibly applicable to real-life events. And how easy it can be for people to willingly give up their freedom and rights in the name of security. All without even realizing it. In his second treatise of government, John Locke argued that the goal of government is to provide security for things that allow for freedom. Without a semblance of security, a society cannot truly be free. As a result, security and liberty should, in theory, go hand in hand. This is where Hydra took advantage of. They preyed on people's fears, by focusing their sinister efforts on individuals' security rather than their freedom. Forcing people to return to the organization for protection. But protection, at the expense of their freedom. It's, understandably, a difficult topic to grasp. But, the film dealt with these issues in the most straightforward manner possible, which should be commendable. It looked at how Hydra easily created crises, and suggested that the only way to safeguard citizens from these crises is for individuals to temporarily relinquish their rights. Of course, it was never meant to be a one-time thing. They could simply fabricate another crisis, once the previous one had passed, in order to justify their decision to continue to cling on to people's rights. This is what made Hydra extremely dangerous. Now, if you think these themes sound familiar, and bear uncanny parallels to today's reality, you're absolutely right. The undertones alluding to the modern world were not subtle. But, I don't believe they were intended to be.